What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Barbells and Banter. So this one, we got straight into the value, talking about setting yourself up for success in 2025 and giving a step-by-step process on how to crush your goals. So we went right into goal setting, how to identify your goals, how to implement them, the most successful ways to achieve them, maybe some of the ramifications of not achieving them, and really deep dive how we unpack them ourselves and how we apply them to our clients. So it's a really jam-packed episode full of value. If you've just landed here or you haven't hit that subscribe or follow button, this is your opportunity to do that. It helps us support the message, get it out to other people just like yourself. If you really enjoy the podcast, please hit the share button, give us a bunch of tags. It really does help us get out the reach to other people just like yourself. Our Strong and Lean in 16 program is live. If you want to lose body fat, drop centimeters around your waist, increase strength, build a strong looking physique, this is the program for you in just 16 weeks. So you can head to the website, submit an application, we'll get on a strategy call, work out if it's a great fit, how our plan's going to work for you, and start crushing your goals in 2025. Okay, enjoy the episode, guys, and we'll see you soon. You don't watch many movies, yeah?
No. I watched the old Tomb Raider over like 4 nights.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Over the holidays. That's it. And it still sucks.
Oh, you probably haven't heard of this movie. You might have. Have you heard of that movie called The Substance?
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, you've heard of it, yeah? Yeah, so we watched it the other day, right? So it's fucked. It's fucked.
Tell me the hype. What is it?
So it's like Demi Moore's in it,
Mm-hmm.
and like she won a Golden Globe, I think, for it or something shit like that. I don't know. She won some award, or she got nominated for it. Right? It's this like horror movie. It's like pretty twisted, pretty fucked up.
Got it.
So like Steph's like, oh, we should watch this, and
What's
I'm like, you've got to rent it. It's like one of those. Didn't go to the movies, I don't think, but you got to pay to watch it. That deal.
I might watch it after.
It's like a low budget film. You can see how it's made.
Should I watch it after my leg day tomorrow?
It's I don't know. Like honestly, it's fucked.
Okay.
So I'll try and explain this without. There's no point. You can't ruin it. It's just fucked. So the preface of it is that she's like an exercise instructor. Remember, like before Cheese TV, how there was like the chicks in the spandex.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah. So she's the it person. She's called like Elizabeth Sparkle or some shit.
Of course she is.
And yeah, she's like just been in that position forever. Like she's getting a bit old, you know, and the network's looking for like the next best thing. Yeah. So they're basically like, look, you're old, you're not hot anymore. Like we need someone old and we need someone young and hot. You know? That's essentially what they say.
Welcome to the 90s.
So, she meets this dude in hospital. She has a car accident, meets this guy in hospital. Anyway, he's like, you're the perfect candidate for this thing. So she takes this, it's called The Substance.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is it creates a younger, genetically better version of her.
Mm-hmm.
But the catch is that that every 7 days they have to swap. So old Demi Moore is dead or asleep for a week. Young, hot Demi Moore, which is just a new chick.
Yeah. Also, you need to rest.
She's awake for a week and they have to feed each other and all this shit. So they have to work together as a team, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to ruin it too much, but it's like they end up not working as a team. Right? But then, like, the concept of the movie was okay. And then the last 20 minutes, it just gets fucking outrageous.
All right.
And I am talking like, it's like they just went, we're going to make this as gory and disgusting as possible. And it just, to the point where I was like, kind of,
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, and I was like, I said to Steph, I'm like, what the fuck are we watching this? I'm like, I got to go to bed soon. I'm like, I'm going to have nightmares. Like,
hey, okay. All right. You have my attention.
Bro, it gets fucked. I can't believe it. That's why I put that post up on my social media. I'm like, has anyone fucking watched this, bro? Because it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, and everyone said the same thing. They're just like, the last 20 minutes, man, is like...
Yeah, okay.
It's just like, it's a bit fucked.
Makes me want to watch it. You've sold it.
Yeah, watch it. It's worth it.
Mm.
It's not a bad, like, young Demi Moore's pretty hot too, so it's not a bad look. I mean, Demi Moore at 60 or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like,
still got
Jesus.
Still got it.
I'm like, fucking hell, babe. Can you look like that at 60? I'll make sure I do.
Yeah, I'll take that shit.
Yeah,
Make sure
yeah.
I do.
It's like, fuck, yeah, but it's crazy, man.
Yeah. Cool, it's on my list.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't watch movies, huh? Don't watch TV shows?
I watch like 25 minutes of TV a day.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
it's like,
I mean, yeah. Okay. I watch lots of TV. It's like it's like how Steph and I bond.
yeah. So that like
Yeah.
I had that pre-child.
Yeah, I guess it's like the lifestyle of a
Yeah.
guy who doesn't have a kid, eh?
Yeah. Now it's like child goes to bed, put something on for half an hour while I eat my last meal, which is now a Ninja Creamy. Oof.
Yeah. What's your go-to?
well,
What's your go-to? With
I've
the
only
Ninja Cream?
made, so I asked ChatGPT to help me with some recipes
Yeah, of course.
that just had protein powder in them. So I only made 2. So I made and it's high fat because I don't eat any fats during the day because from the cut, my diet's
kind of
set.
help with the creaminess.
So 150 mils of cream.
Cream.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck, this guy not fucking around.
50 mils of milk.
Wow.
1 scoop protein powder. And
It's really taking the ice cream part.
bro.
To the
It's like almost too creamy.
Yeah, I reckon it
So
would
like
be.
we've eaten it without mix-ins, and I'm like, the texture is just like, wow.
Does it taste like? Is it kind of like soft serve, like from Macca's? Because that's pretty fatty.
But hard. Because it's so cold.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use the light setting, or do you use the ice cream setting?
Ice cream.
Yeah, so you can whip it again. Use the light one,
Okay.
and it'll give it to like,
Fluffier.
it'll be a soft serve.
Well, I do the re-whip thing. The re-stir.
Yeah. The re-whip will mix things through at a different thing, but you can actually get it to like soft serve.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's just like where the top one is.
Yeah,
it's about 2 down.
yeah. I've seen it. It didn't make sense. I didn't process that it was light, like as in fluffy. I was like, that's low calorie. Like it doesn't have fat in it. I don't know fucking why.
Yeah. LITE.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So yeah, and then I reckon next week I'll pull the cream down a little bit and increase the flavor. So we've done Biscoff and Nutella.
Yeah.
Did Biscoff with vanilla protein and Nutella with chocolate.
Yeah.
The Biscoff one with a Biscoff biscuit through it was elite.
Yeah.
Because it's too creamy. It needed that crunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've been doing...
Fuck, I was putting 4 biscuits in there.
Well, yeah.
Because that's a serve.
There was 2 in the taste, and I was like, that's good, but I don't have the
It's like
calories for that.
170 calories for 4 biscuits.
Yeah. So I've been going with rice bubbles instead,
Oh, yeah.
which is really good. Just adds a little bit of crunch. So next week, I think I'll pull back the cream, increase the Biscoff Nutella.
Yeah, you know what else is good? You'll like this. You can put hundreds and thousands in it. On just vanilla ice cream, hundreds and thousands.
Yep. You put it in it, hey, because it's not going to go soft.
just
Because I was like, it'd be good if you could, because I fill them right up, so I have 4 serves. Be good if I could get more of the rice bubbles if I did it earlier, but then they'd be soft. They wouldn't be crunchy, so it'd be shit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can't. You got to mix it in.
Yeah. But I'm very impressed with it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't use it as much now, but that's only because I'm being fucking lazy.
Yeah.
So
The first night, I was like,
I'll
because
just
it was
start
so creamy and so fatty, I was like, fuck, I think I could half my serve. This is 500 calories.
Yeah.
I was like, I could have 250 and then I could have a couple of biscuits or something. And then I made the chocolate one, and I was like, so I took the container, knowing I even took the scales. I'm like, I have to eat half of this and then put it back. And I was like, I could eat that.
Yeah.
I could put away that 1,000 calories now.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. You still got the 3 tubs? Like, you get the 3 tubs? Like, they come with it?
No. I have 7.
Yeah. Oh, really?
You know, make it for 3 people.
Did you get them extra? Or did you? Oh, yeah, okay.
Awful.
Yeah. I've got to get more because I just can't be fucked, like, every day making.
So there's 7 containers
2?
and then there's a double serve in every container.
Oh,
Because Amy's lower calories.
Oh, so you got the big ones? It's how you make. Oh, yeah, it's how you make it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Amy's gets 4 out of a tub because she can only have half what I have.
Yeah, I use almond milk because I want to eat the whole thing because I'm fatty.
Yeah.
So like a whole tub, I'll eat the whole thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking good time.
Yeah, well, almond milk's like 70 calories, so like 350 mils.
Yeah, I'd like to try pull the cream down to have more freedom.
Maybe I could do almond milk and some light cream.
It'll work.
Yeah. Clocked it, mate.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to experimenting over the next couple of months.
Yeah, I just got stuck in a method and I was just like, wasn't deviating from it, but probably in a position now where I can fuck around with some
Start
shit.
playing.
Yeah. I put some ice magic on there.
But
that fucking slaps, bro.
We got some of that in the fridge.
Yeah.
The coffee protein arrived yesterday.
Oh, yeah. The decaf one.
Well, the protein doesn't have
It's got
caffeine in it. I've just got to buy some caffeine-free instant. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really good.
Yeah, I don't really like coffee ice cream, but, you know, you and I are very different people. So you don't like peanut butter and ice cream. I do. So there's... It's why it works, guys.
You're wrong. I'm right.
It's why it works. Hey, I didn't say anything. All right? So, I don't know about you, but the theme for my guys this week has been about mapping out the year. I know the theme for Standout has been the same. We're like, guys, book your calls. Like, let's map out the year. Let's work on, you know, kind of where the holes are, what you want your years to look like. So I know I'm doing that a lot with my guys in terms of their like physiques and their goals and their strength and all those things. So I thought it was a really good opportunity to actually go over like what you guys should be doing day to day, week to week, or what you guys should be looking at this year like, and what you think is possible, and then how to actually reverse engineer that into like daily habits so you can crush your goals.
Yep.
Because if you look at like, what would you say if you drew a line through your most successful clients? What are the common denominators that they all possess that allow them to produce the goals that they need?
Adherence to a point that allows them to set time-sensitive goals.
Yep.
So you're not reactive, you're proactive on your planning because you know the plan's going to be followed. Low attachment to... I got asked a really good question during the week. Signed a new client up. She said, what do you find the most successful clients do? I was like, as soon as I read that line, I was like, what are you? Do they have variability in their nutrition? Change it up, keeps it fresh, keeps them motivated, or do they eat the same shit? And like they all eat the same shit.
Yeah.
All the ones that are successful have removed the motion of around 90% of their eating.
Yeah. So those are the two biggest ones?
I would say so.
Yeah. I would say but both of those stem from knowing exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
And know exactly why. You know, and I'm the same. I say to all of my guys and all the people that I bring on, I'm like, these are the habits that people who get the best results have. This is how they operate. And the goals, the specificity, and the time sensitivity is always up the top.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, everything else breeds from that. Because your consistency will breed from, okay, well, I have a plan. It's based on this goal. It's based on this timeline. It's based on this outcome. And that outcome's meaningful to me. So you're just working through the chain where I'm like, if you're one of those people that doesn't, you're wishy-washy with like what you want to achieve because you're scared if you're going to achieve it and stuff. It's like, you don't track anything. You only track when you have a good week. When you have a bad week, you don't.
Yeah, don't check in. And shit.
Yeah. And then everything's based off feel. I feel like I'm not doing, I feel like this is happening. And it's like, well, let's see what's actually happening. And we want to remove the subjective kind of, I guess, like the subjective scaling of our results as much as possible.
Yep.
We actually want to go, this is what's happening, not I feel.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's what we're trying to do today. Because this isn't a like, you got to set smart goals. Like, it's like, we know that like it's within what we're talking about today, but it's not the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what's the cost of what's the benefit of setting them and what's the cost of not setting them?
Yes.
You know, which is more important than anything.
Even the goals themselves, what's the cost of not doing the thing, which no one looks at.
Absolutely. So you wouldn't start a road trip without knowing where you're going. So why are so many people walking into the gym without a goal, knowing exactly what they need to do?
Yeah.
You know, think about that destination. Like if you're doing a road trip and you're like driving to the Gold Coast, we're going to drive to here. We're going to stay there. We're going to do it overnight. We're going to get up at 6 a.m. We're going to go here. Like everything is micromanaged and planned. You and I don't just jump in a car and go, oh, we're going to go on a road trip. It's like, where are we going? I don't know. Where do you want to go? I don't know. And all of a sudden we start driving in like some random direction and then we're like, this is shit. Like it's boring. I'm going to stop now.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the same thing as someone walking into the gym. It's like they're like, hey, I want to go into the gym. Most people, I feel like, hide it because they think that it's like, I think like vanity is like a bad thing. It's like, I don't want to tell people that I want to go to the gym to look better.
Yeah.
So I don't want to commit to that out into the universe because because of what people would think of me.
Yeah. I got to say feel better.
Yeah, I got to say feel better. I got to say whatever.
Yeah.
And I can't get too specific on it as well because if people think that, like I'm trying to improve the way I look, like they're going to think bad of me or whatever. They're going to make fun of me or something. So usually like I'll set the slate clean, like in a call, like in that blueprint planning session, I'll be like, hey, this is a safe space. I'm like, what are you after? And like I even sometimes like will, kind of break the ice and be like, I only train to look good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then they'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So we need specificity. We need exact, like, tangible outcomes that we can get, because how we orchestrate those plans is based on those decisions.
Yep.
If you guys have listened to the podcast for enough now, when we talk about our training, when we talk about clients, when we talk about how we deliver these outcomes, we're orchestrating those, program writing, diet, everything based on, I want bigger shoulders, I want a smaller waist, I want this. This is my lifestyle, and this is what I can commit to.
Yep.
So we need to know exactly what we're doing. Anything to add on that?
No.
So this is a really, really crazy statistic. Research shows that setting goals increases the likelihood of achieving them 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all.
So, like, writing it down and committing to it. 10 times the likelihood.
Yep.
Insane. Absolutely insane. I couldn't believe that.
Intention's everything, man. If you haven't gone to the level of writing it down, you didn't care enough about it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you've got to write it down to then start the planning.
Yeah.
So, like, that tells me you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
So then your goal's not a goal. It's just a thing that you said.
Yeah, it's just like something you just threw out to the universe just to, like, pass time for a second.
Yeah.
There's no way, you can't get purpose, direction, specificity without going, I want to lose 5 centimeters around my waist, 2 dress sizes, and increase centimeters in my glutes, or build a set of arms or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do that in this time frame. You can't get that level of specificity just saying wishy-washy bullshit.
Yep.
No. And the people that are listening to this aren't here for that. They want to maximize the time. They want to maximize their effort. They don't want to be going to the gym, getting frustrated because they're spending all this time and just not putting the effort in. So
that's why we drive events so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not because we make money on events. We make no money on events. It's because everyone that commits to an event gets exceptionally better results.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking to someone during the week about that, actually, because they were like, I was a bit disappointed. I got down to like 82 kilos or whatever they said. And then now they're back up at 90. And they're just like, I'm really disappointed that, like, I got there and then just like kind of didn't leverage from that. And I just said, honestly, man, I was like, the fact that we set photo shoots, and I said, and because we run 2 a year, I'm like, that keeps me in check all the time.
Yep.
I'm like, as soon as we brought them back, you can literally see the change in terms of my physique. It just got exponentially better. I mean, granted, I changed a few things, and I moved gyms and all that kind of stuff. But it's still the desire, right? Like you can't. It's not like a gym just changes your physique magically. Like you have to still show up and do the work. So you've got to have like something to work towards.
Yeah.
And it's got to mean something too, I think. So yeah, I thought that 10 times thing is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Now, without goals, you run the risk, and what a lot of people are going to do this month is just like fuel themselves on motivation.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of people, like, I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of people say, like, you've motivated me. Like, seeing your transformation has motivated me or whatever. And for me, instantly in my head, I'm like, that's fucking not right.
Yeah, it's concern.
Yeah, like, I would never say that to them. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Like, if you go off, like, someone else inspiring you to do something, they can only inspire you for so long.
Yeah, I hope you get a taste quick enough.
Correct.
That you get buy-in and belief. Because I think it's really interesting. Steph just posted, you don't need more discipline.
Yeah.
Something else. You need clearer identity. So I just hope that in the time that you're motivated from seeing us do the thing, that you can start to attribute your identity to being the person that does that thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, it can be enough to maybe, like, just kickstart, like, being like, oh, like, you've shown that, like, being a dad and fucking doing all that is, like, it still can be done. So I'm going to give it a crack, and then it's like they see and believe, and then they're like, cool, this is my thing now.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's going to be a lot of people this month that are like, motivation, like, to go, and then it's like, but I don't know what I'm working towards. I don't have a plan that's specific. I can't actually measure if I'm getting there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, I don't really feel like fucking going. And I don't know about you, like, I'm sure there were moments like when you were in your cut, or even just, even now, you're like, I can't be fucked. but you just go anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's like the goal is so much, it's so deep and meaningful that like you just do it in absence of how you feel.
Yeah, that's the food for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm like that with training. Like I have this like love-hate thing with training that I just don't share with everyone. I love it till I hate it.
Yeah.
And then I fucking hate it for a bit.
Yeah.
But I still go.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm not vibing the sessions. I'm really having to pull myself to go. It hasn't happened in a while, but it does happen. It's funny, like when I went away, they had a hotel gym and I went in there and it was just like, you know, the Matrix holiday stack. Like, yeah, you can just fucking full stack the seated row, the lat pull down. And they had like a leg extension, leg curl, and like dumbbells up to 20 kilos. So I'm like doing a couple of sets of lat pull downs, doing a couple of rows. And I just looked in the mirror and I'm like, the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like this is so mid.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone fights with that. But as soon as I got home, I was like, meals, fucking workout, everything. And I was so excited. And I think it was because I was off plan.
Yeah.
And I looked at this gym and I was like, this is shit.
Yeah.
That I was like, it's not worth it just to go enjoy your holiday, Jay.
Yeah.
You know, and just have 5 days. Your body's going to be okay.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So motivation's great. A plan, compelling goals, something a little bit more meaningful. Like that's going to take you through the times. Because again, the people that get the results do things in absence of how they feel.
Yes.
You know, and that's in everything, life, business, etc. Like if you're looking at someone who's like more successful in the space that you're trying to, you know, kind of move into, I would say that they're showing up regardless of how they feel. And that's the difference between you and them.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this heaps on what are all the successful people do? What's the standout trait?
Yeah.
And one thing that people don't talk about enough is the forward thinking.
Yeah.
So you're talking about goals. You're talking about like whether or not going to show up in absence of and all that kind of stuff. It's just like you're going to show up in absence of because you decided a month ago. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
I train. Like, that's where that identity piece is. Like, I go to the gym. And I go to the gym 5 days a week. And I eat 250 grams of protein every day. That's what I do. And I eat fucking cold mince and rice when I have to.
Yeah.
So, because I decided that a month ago, there's no motivation required. And it's for me, it's not even discipline. It's not motivation. It's not discipline. It's just that this is who I am. This is what I do.
Yeah, it's a habit.
So
it's identity.
Yeah, I don't have to fight the thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people, like, I know a lot of pushback from like some of the conversations I've had with my clients is like, they're worried about operating in a way that aligns with their goals because it's different to the people that are in their circle. So like if you go somewhere and you bring your food, then like it's just that initial interaction is awkward.
Yeah.
And I was like, I understand that, but I was like, are you operating in a way that's going to please other people, or are you operating in a way that's going to actually benefit yourself? And I was like, the more I let my inner circle know how I live and what's important to me, the more accepting they've become of it.
Yeah.
So now it's like if we go over for dinner, they're like, hey, we're having this. Is it okay? Now I don't give a fuck. But 10 years ago, I was like, you know, they would preemptively make this really healthy meal and I'd be like, sweet.
Yeah.
You know, where even when we're out drinking, it's like, are you on today? I'm like, nah, not drinking.
Yeah.
No pushback at all. Nothing. Where if like, and once I have a few, they're like, yeah, fuck, he's on. Yeah, like,
the boy's back.
Yeah. But they I've done it. I've taken the courage to stand my ground and act in the way that is important to me.
Yep.
And everybody who's important to me should accept that.
Yeah.
And I've done it and I've stood my ground enough for them to be like, sweet, this is you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really important once you have that forward thinking and discussion with yourself. It's like, I do this, I do that. Like, man, I brought fucking food to my nonna's house, man.
Yeah.
You don't do that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she was fucking mortified. I had to lie to her and tell her I was sick.
Yeah.
And I had to be on a special diet.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, okay, I'll
let it
she's
go.
like, next time I'll cook you the food you need to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you won't, because you'll drench it.
Chicken and rice.
You'll drench it in fucking olive oil and I can't eat it. So it's just, being able to kind of stand your ground.
Yeah.
But knowing what those behaviors are and what those forward thinking does, or what it looks like,
Yeah.
So important.
Would you say like someone, so let's say that's not us. You're earlier on in your stages of training, you're like, fuck it. Like this is like, I've got a bunch of girls and guys in the weight loss challenge at the moment. 28 days, a lot of them, it's the first level. The detail that they have in their program and then their nutrition is greater than they've ever had before. And I've been pushing like, just do it for a month. Just see what fucking happens if you just give it a month. Going to a family event, going to a friend's event, how would you approach that scenario to get the least amount of pushback possible if you're not Jason that's been training for 15 years and we all know that he's headstrong and he's confident and you also look the way you do? Because like I imagine being, let's say you want to lose 20 kilos, you haven't lost 20 kilos yet, and you show up to an event with Tupperware.
Yeah, that's a great question because I actually unpacked this with somebody last week. I heard that. Jesus.
Fuck, that was my hips.
Yeah, I actually unpacked this with somebody last week. So I said to them, tell them exactly what you're doing and the fact that you're on a specific plan and you can't deviate from it.
Yeah.
Because it's important to you.
And I would do that preemptively.
Yeah, I literally would just be like, hey, I've just joined this like transformation program.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to drop a bit of weight. I really need to. So I'm on this plan that they've got set for me. So I can't deviate from it. Mm-hmm. And everyone's going to like, the people around you are going to go, oh, okay, so they're trying to lose weight. They're on a program.
Yep. And
they're going to follow the program because that's what they fucking joined up for. Mm-hmm. So that's way better than just like, I can't eat that. Because people are going to go, if you just say I can't eat that, people are going to go, why? Oh, just have a little bit. It's not going to hurt.
Yep.
The other thing I say to people to tell like how to orchestrate that sentence and say it in a more powerful way is say, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because you can't force somebody when they say that.
Yeah.
If I sat there and I said to you, like, have a slice of pizza and you just say, I shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
But if you say, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm out, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no chance.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just use language that stands your ground that's firm.
Yep.
But it's not in a way that's like going to cause like hostility or fucking, you know, like you think you're better than everyone and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. I like the preemptive, I need your help as well. So if there's a group chat, everything you just said, I've signed up to this, I'm doing this, I have to follow this, I really need you guys to help by not pushing this weekend.
Yeah. Done. Absolutely.
And if anyone does, fuck them.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to be rude. If you've preempted with that, be fucking rude.
Yeah. The hardest part with that is the person that then says, well, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Like I would never, you know, stick to a fucking whatever. And I actually now just have the confidence to just say, well, lucky for you, this isn't about you.
Yeah.
Like I just, like I have zero chill with comments like that now. Like those, like it's like I didn't ask to hear what your opinion was on what I'm doing. Yeah. Like so, sometimes you probably have to bite your lip a little bit, but like just standing your ground and letting people know. The ones that don't support you, fuck them. Essentially, like very very straightforward, but hard to deal with. I totally understand that. So one thing I didn't mention is, if you don't have a goal, the thing that happens is you become less productive and less effective.
Yep. So
when you go to the gym, it's like the quality of your session is not as great as it could be if you had a program. The level of, you know, arousal, motivation, determination, preparation. Like there's even research that they've done where if you know exactly what you're going to do on the day that you do it, your body will perform better. Yeah. Because throughout that day, you're planning every single step, even in your head, on how that day is going to look.
Unconsciously.
I'm going to have my meal. I'm going to have lunch. I'm going to make sure I have 2 liters of water today. I'm going to jump in the car and have my shake and drink my pre-workout about 30 minutes before I get to the gym. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to go over to the, you know, I've got this squat rack today. Like just all this like visualization. And, you know, we've talked about like ways that improve performance is like motivation and what works for you. If you know exactly what you're going to do, you start leaning on that like visual, maybe visualization that you're creating in your head, like, you know, auditory, like music, etc. Like there's so many things you can lean on when you know what you're doing. Yeah. Think about what you're missing out on if you're not. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I did 2 sets. Like, oh, this doesn't feel good. I'll just leave it here. Yeah. And it's like, oh, this is free. I'll just sit on the cables and just do every angle for 3 sets of fucking 10 to 20 or whatever.
Fuck out,
piss everyone off in the gym for it. So I did want to kind of mention that because I know a lot of people like maybe push back on the kind of the commitment side of things, like the wishy-washy, like goals need meaning, they need time, they need this. But it's like you're actually killing your effectiveness inside of the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you value your time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you value your results as well.
And there's people out there that don't, man, that like they don't know what they're going to eat tomorrow. They don't know what they're going to train. They don't know what they're doing with it. Like, you got a day off. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. And the other days you're like, oh, fuck, it's 3 o'clock. I got to go work tomorrow. And you have a shit day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can't live like that. It blows my mind. And that's that forward thinking thing where decisions have been made.
Yeah.
In clarity, and then you don't have to have that discussion with yourself anymore. Should I do the last set of leg extensions?
Yeah.
You decided to a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
When someone said this is your program and you were like, sweet, that was your
or
decision.
when you said this is my goal and this is how I am to achieve it, you decided that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So it is important to still understand what goals look like. And they absolutely should be specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant, and have a time-sensitive nature to them.
Cool.
Because if you're missing any of those things, it's really hard to track. It's really hard to implement. And from a habit perspective, like if you know that something's on a set date, like you're showing up every fucking day.
Yeah.
So I know people have pushback on that. I talked about it with a client of mine the other day. They were like, well, what happens if I don't achieve it in the time frame? It gives me anxiety. It makes me feel like a failure. And I was like, absolutely, very, very plausible, feelings. Some things that I actually struggle with myself. So I said, remember that every goal has like a bit of wiggle room. I said, outside of like something that's like set on a date, like a photo shoot, a contest prep, a powerlifting meet, this, that, holiday. So I said, we're not in a position like that at the moment. So I said, these goals have wiggle room. And then I said, what you also need to consider is we've got this big long-term goal. I said, we probably need to fragment the goal.
Yeah.
I said, if someone was making $1,500 a week or even $5,000 a month, and they wanted to make $1 million a year, and so they're going to go from 5 to 18, I said, that's way too big.
Too big a jump, yeah.
So you would do 5 to 7, 7 to 14, 14 to 17, and then 18, and then all of a sudden you're making $1 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you need to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, there's too big of a gap for what you have at the moment. So I said, we've got this specificity, this, measurable, all of that. But I said, it's just too unrealistic for you to see it.
Yep.
So we need to create momentum.
Yep.
So I said, does it make more sense? And then her honest opinion of that was, it seems so so small that it's not worth it. So I said to her, again, absolutely plausible. But I said, if you can lose 2 to 3 kilos, what makes you say you can't lose 2 to 3 more after that? She said, oh, no, I would absolutely. And I said, and how confident are you of losing the first 2 to 3? 8.5.
Too easy.
8.5 out of 10?
Yeah.
And I said, cool. So I said, we need momentum.
Yeah.
We need wins. So I'm like, all of a sudden you set 2 to 3 kilo weight loss. You absolutely smash because you believe in yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do another 2 to 3. Sweet. Now we've lost 6.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we've got another 4 to go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking kill it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you've lost 10. So rather than setting 10,
yeah,
sometimes you've just got a chip.
Yeah.
And people don't value that because they don't value the idea of like momentum. It's like they're trying to get to the next floor when what they need to do is get to the next step.
Yeah.
And then from there it's like, and I feel like, you're looking at, you were talking about like high performers. That's what they do. They do have the big goals.
Yeah.
But they have the micro steps, which comes down to the planning, the this, the that, the daily habits, like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And like not disregarding those small wins.
Yeah.
Like they all add up to something big.
I put up a post a while ago, like, I used to be huge on goal setting. Was like every quarter, hour and a half, sit down, pull it apart, because it was like I was the most fulfilled in my life if I could tick off a big goal.
Yeah.
Big, audacious, hairy, scary goal, whatever the fuck it is. A BHAG. It's in that Beyond Entrepreneurs book. And then I started to realize that through this shoot more than anything, because I didn't set out to do it. I didn't say 10 months ago, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life ever for a photo shoot. But I felt as good about the outcome as I ever have about any other hard thing that I've ever done to get an outcome. So I was like, that's really curious. Because it wasn't the pursuit of the goal for 10 months. The photo shoot itself, the end part, was only 6 months. 6 weeks I was even going to do it. Booked it and did it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what is it then? And it was the steps. And it's the daily wins. It's like I committed to a process, and then I was like, hey, the process has led me to this outcome. I'm going to grab that now.
And this is what is possible.
Yeah. So it's like, well, can you dial in? And it's like I like the like, let's lose 2 kilos, let's lose another 2, let's lose another 2. I'd love, let's win a day.
Yeah.
When your head hits the pillow, did you do everything you possibly could to move forwards? And then what is forwards? That's your goal.
Yeah.
Did you step towards that? Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go. Did you step towards that? Yes. Awesome. Go again. No. Why?
Yeah.
Do we need to change anything? No. Just fucked it up. Okay. Do it again. Go. Go. And it's just like those, when you talk about building confidence, building momentum, if you can just focus in on a day, a week, the 2 kilos is a month, like you just hone in on those things, I think that brings way more fulfillment, confidence, etc. than the actual big goal itself.
Yeah, I agree.
But you need the homing beacon. Otherwise, what are you aiming at for the day? How do you metric it?
Yeah, I agree. And I think on top of that, like imagine, like when you set your next goals, like you didn't set them as like, again, like a hope, like I was talking about with the, like, oh, we want to live down the beach.
Yeah.
Like that was like 100% conviction.
Yeah.
This is happening. So when I put my new plan together and my goals, like bigger arms, bigger delts, thicker back, and then the next photo shoot in December this year is a bigger, leaner version of what I just did. That was not a like, I'm going to set this and hope it happens. I know it's going to fucking happen.
Yep.
And it's because I've done this enough now, you know, set off goals, set off time frames, you know, planning, periodization, following a program, diet, all of it, committing to everything, daily habits, knowing what a successful day and week looks like. I live in the realm of certainty now. I don't live in the realm of like, this might happen.
Yep.
And that is so powerful.
Yep.
Because you want to be the person that sets the goal and sets a new one.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to be losing the same 9 kilos that I lost last year.
Agreed.
It's like you go up to 105, you go back to 98, you look at the same.
Yeah.
You know, you go back to 107, you go back to 98, you look the same. You know, it's like, that's just so monotonous and it's just so unfulfilling to be like, I'm here again.
Yeah.
When am I ever going to... Because people have other goals.
Yeah.
Like when you lose the weight the first time, they always go and they need to lose the weight again. They're like, I'm going to lose the weight and then I want to build muscle. But they never get to build the muscle.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the system involved. They don't have everything working harmoniously together. So they can stack their proof and go, I'm going to hit this first goal and then crush whatever goal I set in front of me.
Yep.
And I think that that's the most important thing and that's the thing that we deliver the best on.
Yes.
Like everyone that comes to us is like, well, not everyone, because sometimes for whatever reason, like people don't do the things that they want. But most of the people and the ones that crush it, the people that look at them and go, I wish that was me. They do that.
Yeah.
And we deliver that for them. It's like this is a stepping stone to something greater for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we can see before them.
Yeah, absolutely. So some examples, again, for goals, because these people like, you know, don't understand like, hey, what could I think about in terms of a goal? It's like a certain amount of weight in a timeline, a certain amount of body fat percentage. So 5% body fat loss in like 16 weeks, maybe 5 kilos, 12 kilos, 5 to 10 kilos in a time frame, maybe 16 to 20 weeks.
Yep.
You know, if you absolutely crushed it. Adding, 20 kilos to your bench press.
Yep.
Adding centimeters to areas of your body that want to develop, maybe adding a little bit of body weight as well as your centimeters. Like they're the things that you want to be trying to set goals on.
Yes.
It's like, can I measure it? Is there a time frame? We now can set this whole plan off that.
Yep. Is it doable?
And we can hold each other accountable to it,
Yep.
which I think is super important. So yeah, super, super important. So if you guys are stuck on goals, selfless plug, come and do a strategy call with one on the team. We'll be able to map out like what you're thinking. Like most of the time, it's either you want to look better, feel better, or perform better.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we'll rank those in a priority. What does look better, feel better, perform better seem like to you? Like, how can you identify it? We're going to unpack that a little bit more. How can we get a tangible outcome? Sweet. This is the time frame that I believe we could do this in. Are you happy with that? Boom. All of a sudden, you've got time-sensitive goals.
Yeah.
Really safe place. No judgment. We literally train everyone of all walks of life with all ambitions. Mm-hmm. So, next thing I wanted to talk about. Barriers to goal setting. Which I believe is the biggest reason people don't set goals.
Yes.
People don't set goals because they don't know goals exist. Everybody knows goals exist.
Yeah.
They don't set goals because they are afraid that they're not going to achieve them.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what would you say to those people to ease their apprehensions or motivate them to potentially change how they think and feel about that?
Not setting them doesn't achieve them either.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good place to start.
Yeah, well, like you get to choose your hard there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what would you rather? Would
so you're 10 times more likely to achieve your goal if you set it
Yeah.
than if you don't.
Yeah.
And your fear is if you set it, you don't. Give yourself every fucking possible chance. You're 10 times more likely to achieve it if you set it, write it down, than if it's just a wishy-washy word. So it's a no-brainer. Also, we spoke about this a little bit in a previous podcast, like, so what?
Yeah.
So what you didn't lose 10 kilos in 12 weeks? You only lost 5. What did you lose if you didn't set the goal and try? Nothing.
Yeah.
No. Worse. You probably would have gained 5.
Oh, yeah.
Because you would have went, fuck this. I give up. I'm not going to the gym. Not doing this. More beers on the weekend.
Too many frustrated cheat days. I'll start again Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very rare that someone stays in the same spot.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you don't make a decision to move forwards, you're actively, in my opinion, just making a decision to move backwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think people miss that. And there's the idea of like, there's a rat study. They put a rat in a tube, can't see in front, can't see behind, put the cheese in front, push the smell of the cheese, rat, and then they like measure the force of how motivated the rat is to get to the cheese. Then they play a cat noise behind the rat and see the force, and then they do both and measure the force. The rat that can hear the cat and smell the cheese, surprise, surprise, creates the most fucking urgency to get to the cheese.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to die and I want to eat. So if you can sit there and be like, and as we said that at the start of the episode, what's the consequence of not setting your goals? Going fucking backwards.
Yeah.
Not staying where you are, because you're in this, people have this illusion of like, I'm in this little comfort zone. If I don't change anything, everything will stay the same.
Yeah.
I spoke to someone about this, about business. It was just like, if I stay where I am, I'm safe.
Yeah.
It's like, are you?
Everything else is moving.
Correct. So are you safe? In 3 years' time, how are you going to feel about the job that you have now that's safe? I'll probably fucking hate it, and I'll regret not taking a chance. Okay, so you're in a worse position than you are now if you don't try. And if you try, you end up probably in the same position you're in now.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. 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 I think like just playing off that motivation interview, it's just like, what are the benefits to setting the goals and giving it a shot? What are the, the costs of doing it? I'm like, you're going to be able to trade those off.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
And you want, And like you said, it's just like the statistics just show, man. Like I would want a 10 times head start comparative to the person who doesn't set those goals.
I think the people, like you said, people don't set goals because they're scared of not reaching them. And they don't think about what happens if they don't.
Yeah.
They only think about forwards.
Yeah, they don't think
about, well, if I don't, where am I in 6 months?
Yeah, I agree. The one that I did have here was like overwhelm. So I can understand there are some people that go, I don't actually know how to communicate the goal. Like, they want to get in shape. They're thinking about it, but they're like, realistically, like, I've either tried and failed in the past. So maybe like this 10 kilo thing that I want, or maybe getting into that dress that I, got into when I was like 5 years younger, like isn't actually realistic for me. So I actually don't know how to communicate my feeling anymore, but I'm sad with how I look. I'm putting in the work in the gym, but getting fucking nowhere. I'm confused about my nutrition and stuff. So I actually don't know how to say this to you. So that is, if you're somebody in that scenario, I can't stress how important it is to talk to someone who works in this space.
Yeah.
Like who's good at their job. Like, I don't even care if it's not us.
Yeah.
I would recommend it because we're really good at it. But it's like, you need to speak to someone. Because like I said before, it's like, do you want to look better, feel better, perform better? Tell me what those things mean to you. How can we get a tangible outcome from them?
Yeah.
This is what that's going to look like for you.
Yeah.
With your commitments and with everything and the plan and your history and all of those, your limitations, your capabilities, all of a sudden this starts to become a reality again. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe you think getting back into that dress 5 years ago isn't possible.
Yeah.
I know it is, but I'm just going to let you get to the first benchmark first. And it's like, hey, let's keep pushing if you want. This is capable for you. This is achievable for you now.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're like where we want to be. So I do empathize with people who do feel like they've tried and failed. Yeah. And then just get overwhelmed with the goals. Yeah. And then they're just like, I'm sad with how I look, but I don't actually know what to say to someone to help solve that for me.
Yeah. And I had a conversation with a client recently, and I'm going to use the anecdote from mine rather than exposing that conversation. I never tried to get in really good shape because I didn't think I'd look as good as I did when I was in shape.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was powerlifting, even like the fattest Ben, the one that looked like he had bee stings on his face.
And face on his back and his neck.
In the morning, under the right light, I had 2 abs.
Yeah.
At all times. Flex the right way, catch a light. There's a couple of abs sitting there.
Just
it's like,
sitting.
You're not like, you're okay, bro. It's fine. It's not that bad. When I would lean out, maybe I'd see the top of the next 2. And I was like, okay, so if I just diet, I just look like this with less of that, but I won't be as big and I won't fill out my clothes.
Not worth it.
I'm not really interested in that because I spent a really long time trying to fill out fucking clothes.
Yeah.
Then the process of the shoot started and this weird thing happened that I narrowed like fucking 4 inches. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that waist was there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I could have... The first time I saw a vein in my chest, I fucking nearly ran to the bathroom to take a photo.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that? But there's... No, I don't... Matt took it on a Smith machine once.
Yeah.
From the top. He's like, have a look at your chest, dude. I was like, that's not me. Like, that's just not my body.
Yeah.
I don't care if I just watched you take the photo. That's not me. So I think a lot of people are like, well, I've trained for a long time.
Yeah.
I've dieted before.
Yeah.
This is the result I got. I got a little, like, I did it for 6 weeks and this happened. It's like,
it's that limiting self-belief thing that we talk about.
It's like, it's not worth. I'm still not fucking.
It's not for me. It hasn't worked in the past.
Still don't look like Jess or Sandra or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, what, like, whatever. I'm
Why
my chest's never gonna look like Jason's.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm never gonna be comfortable to stand next to Jason and rear double by.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck? No way.
You just picked a good shot to stand next to me on.
That's why I said that one.
For now.
Because it's the one that I'm like, okay.
For now, anyway. We'll see about that after this year.
From the front, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
No quads, no chest.
Got
From
you
the
covered.
back, we're okay.
Well, that spread I got you covered too, all right?
That's why I don't post it.
One shot.
That's why I don't post it. So, yeah, just like, I think people don't know what they're capable of.
Yeah.
And I see it in strength all the time. Just like, I had a girl yesterday send through her first deadlifts ever, first week, 52 kilos.
Yeah.
Bro, picked up 60 kilos for 5 like it was a bar.
Yeah, that's sick.
And I was like, okay, you need to go watch the deadlift tutorial and you need to put 80 kilos on that next week. And by the end of this block, you will pull more than double body weight.
Yeah.
And she's like, really? I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Like that, it just, you have no idea what you have access to.
Yeah.
And it's the same with like powerlifting. Like we used to do it all the time. We run a lift off. You know, you would have come third at States. Me, yeah. You that just like rocked up in a pair of tights and a t-shirt and trained for fun.
Yeah, that's it. Who gave this, 89%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, you mentioned the borrowing the belief thing. Like that's, just have the conversation with someone.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because the last thing I said was like the last thing I had here was the lack of self-belief. So it's like once people get overwhelmed, like people maybe get overwhelmed in communicating what they want, especially if they've done it before. Or maybe if they haven't, but then a lot of people lose that self-belief once they've tried and failed.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck, man, am I ever going to actually look this way that I want?
Yeah.
Or, they've got someone who I don't really like the idea of like having a goal physique of a person and trying to go for it. I think that leads to a lot more disappointment. Yeah. Granted, if you maybe have similarities in your...
Be very careful who you pick.
Well, that's it. Like, you've got to have very similar compositions. Yep. Like for me to sit here and be like, oh, I want to look like Samson Dowder. Like the dude's Nigerian. He's 6'1". He weighs 330 pounds. I'm like, that's not going to be realistic for me. Mm-hmm. So I think that sets more people up to fail or not. You've got to, if you're going to pick someone to be your fitspo, you need to like them and how they operate.
Behaviors.
And you need to be bought into the results that they get in terms of the numbers, not the look. So it's like this person can shred, can put on size, can increase their strength. Like you're not buying into like, I'm going to train like this person to look that way. Like that's going to leave you very fucking disappointed.
Behaviors and character is what you want to follow, not
absolutely
look.
Absolutely. So yeah, lack of self-belief, which I know is going to kill a lot of people. And it comes into like the doubt, like that, like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm telling you now, if you know exactly what you want, we create a plan that fits what you're willing to commit to, and we can micro plan that to every day and what your week looks like and how your nutrition looks like and everything, and you are willing to follow it and endure like some of the hardships that come with like committing to a plan because it means something to you, you will get it. Like you said last week, do it for 30 days. And tell me it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And like, I could just bet my fucking life on it. Yeah. It's not possible.
Yeah. And you're
not broken. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's huge. Too.
Yeah. It's like you are not broken. Like you can do it. It's just like you haven't done it for long enough. The walls haven't been brought in enough to be specific to you, and you haven't done it for long enough and given it a hard enough shot to show yourself it can work.
Why do you think some people can? Some people can't.
I think some people are actually afraid of achieving that.
I think so too.
I think that like once it's like, they've always wanted to be, that 10 kilos lighter or like get into these like, whatever size 8, or the boys like maybe going the other way. They've always wanted to be like XL or whatever. And I think once it starts to become a reality, they're like, hang on a minute, like it's changing my identity. It's changing who I am. This is really uncomfortable. Because it's funny, like, we talk about discomfort as like, well, you've got to get uncomfortable to get to your goals, and it's you can choose your heart, and it's it's uncomfortable to be like sad and unhappy with how you look. It's also uncomfortable to be
different
to actually be something you've always wanted.
Yeah,
and if your deviation point from discomfort is to go back to or discomfort is to go back to comfort. Like, think about what happens. People are like, oh, fuck, this is new and different and whatever. Irrespective of whether it's positive or not, I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of that.
I agree.
Yeah, and then some people just fucking want it bad, bro. Like, honestly, they're just willing to do whatever it takes. And they're not willing, like, they're not going to use other people and circumstance and all of that stuff. Like, they just have the proof that they're like, if I give this everything I have, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And not if. And I think that how you've been raised and, the hardships and, the lessons and the morals that your parents taught you and your friends and all of that, like, I know that kind of plays into it. Because I know that plays into it for me. It's like, I just knew, like, no matter how much I burned at training and how tired I was at soccer training, if I just kept going, everyone else would fall off and I would come first.
Yeah.
And I just got better and better every week. Mm-hmm. And then when I started at the gym, like I started actually at the gym doing CrossFit. And I was just like, I get better every week if I train till I can't feel my arms.
Yeah.
And I train till I can't feel my quads. And so you're just like building this resilience. And you just take that to everything.
I'm curious how much that stems from like a chip on the shoulder maybe, or like getting to a point of just like we'd spoke about it on, I think it was on Learn. And I said like, if you've had enough, good.
Yeah,
Like, I hope you fucking had enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope you've had enough of shrinking your goals, shrinking yourself, not living up to your potential, feeling like you can do more, frustrated at the end of the week. And it's not even about like, and this is where it's so frustrating. The industry at the moment is so big on like self-acceptance, love how you look, don't put pressure on looking better, all of that kind of stuff. It's like, it's the vehicle to everything fucking else.
Yeah, and it's a fucking lie, man. It's a farce. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people that are now unhappy with how they look and now aren't able to communicate it.
And they're getting fucking told by tens.
Yeah.
Like, cool, so you're fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, you should
Train 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Make $4,000 a week.
Yeah.
Have an incredible coaching business. Do whatever the fuck whenever you want.
Yeah, you should just be
live
happy.
the life that everyone wants to live. Gets treated the way everyone wants to be treated because you look the way you do, you speak the way you do, you're intelligent, and you're very good at this. And then you get on social media and say, stop telling people that they should look a certain way, or that they like, bruh.
Yeah.
You live that whole fucking life, and you want to tell someone that doesn't to stop pursuing it?
Absolutely.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just like, I don't know, all of that, like, live up to your potential, find a way to grow, to step out of your comfort zone, to not be trapped in that mundane. Because I think, for me, like, training applies to life. Like you said, like, it's totally okay to train for just how you want to look. I think if all that happens during that phase is that you look better, you fucked it up. Like, if it didn't apply elsewhere to confidence, to how you show up at work, with family, relationships, yourself, how you feel about yourself, or if you don't improve in all those areas as well, you fucked it up.
It was the wrong goal.
Yeah.
Like, it was, because it's like not tied to like what you value.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like, as much as I'm like, oh, train for vanity. Like, I love the pursuit of bodybuilding because it's so hard.
Yeah.
And I love the challenge and the growth that comes from it. And it's like, well, I value, it's like one of my first core values is like growth, personal growth.
Yeah.
So it's like it ties into other elements of my life that are important to me. So if you're like you think like, if you're one of those people, it's like, oh, I'll be happy when, I'll be this when.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the motivating reason to push yourself. Then it's like, oh, fuck, man, that's going to be like a pretty rough road to go down.
Yeah.
So
Make it, you'll be happy when you keep your word with yourself for 24 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You'll be happy when you keep your word with yourself for 7 days.
Yeah.
For 30 days. Not the outcome. I'll be happy when I do the thing.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I need to write that down. I like it.
moving to practical steps now. All right, because I like the idea of like this being, somewhat of value and use to everyone. So you need to define, your goal, and you need to have a deeper connection to that goal. So you need to find your why, your purpose, your values. It's like, what does the goal mean? What's going to happen when you achieve it? What opportunities does it give you? What happens if you don't? You need to have that conversation with yourself. So that's super important. So write it down. We want plans and actions, not just outcomes. So we've talked about this. It's like focus on controllable behaviors. So you've got the goal, you've got the timeline, and then we break it down like Ben and I spoke about into like win the day, win the week, win the day. So examples of that, I need to train 4 times a week. I need to hit 10,000 steps today. I need to hit 200 grams of protein, 3 liters of water, 6 hours of sleep, whatever it is. It's like you can literally tick those off every day. You are crushing it. Because over the weeks, they just compound. And the last thing is like from a habits perspective, no one wants to put a cross on those things. And if you put a cross on it, what's the first thing you do? I'm going to fucking crush that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's just like building momentum. Focus on controllable behaviors. I spoke about that. So track your progress regularly.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how important this is. Like, I even have clients now that I know deviate away from tracking their progress, and I know it's because like, oh, I don't want to know. And like, it makes me feel like, whatever. I'm like, I need your weight measurements. I need your photos. I need you this, because we can't operate in a way of chance. And I'm like, I need to know exactly. And I'm like, you want to get the best out of me. And I'm like, and I actually asked them that. I'm like, do you want to get the best out of me? Absolutely. And all my experience, this is what I need from you.
Yep.
And like, yeah, there's middle ground. Like, some people like obsessed with the scale, whatever. Like, okay, but I'm like, I need something. Like, I can't have nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's not acceptable, because then I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's just
your own.
fucking education, man. Everyone I know that's come to me that's like, I've been obsessed with the scale before. Within 3 to 4 weeks, it's gone.
Yeah.
Because it's the way I approach it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so trend-wise, this happened. See, start of the week, end of the week is this. Cool, move on. Next data point.
And like, you're not like, if it's like the monthlies or whatever, like you're not like, oh, you need to drop your calories this week because you put on weight. You're like, oh, okay, let's look back to the last 4 weeks. Like,
yeah, it takes it
yeah,
away.
and you're just like so accepting of it. I agree. I actually reckon the more you weigh yourself, the more powerful the less emotionally impacting it becomes, and the more powerful it becomes as a tool to use to measure your progress.
So I've started doing my waist measurement 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah,
because it modifies my behavior.
Yeah,
because it's like I know the scale is going to vary a kilo.
Yeah,
my waist measurement's going to vary maybe a centimeter over the entire week. But it's like, why is my waist up? Because you didn't sleep properly, bro.
Yeah,
you didn't drink enough water yesterday, bro.
Yeah,
sort your shit out.
Absolutely.
And it just reins me back in. You do
keeps you in
photos, like if you walk in and you're doing your posing every day, you're like, bruh,
100%.
There's that fucking cheesecake, mate.
Yeah, I
not that you're fat, but it's like...
No, it's like you do
you
that...
look fluidy, you look whatever.
Do that a few more times though, bro, and like you're going to start to get out of shape. Yeah, I literally am like... I did that yesterday. I'm like, I need a fucking... I had a pizza last night. Like, I just need a fucking reality check. And I'm like, okay, we're good. But I'm like, this weekend, you can't fuck around.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, your check-in photos on Monday are not going to be where you want them to be.
Yeah.
So I absolutely lean the fuck into that mentality. So for the people at home, track your body composition, your measurements, your photos, your scale weight, track your training performance. And even for some of those people, who maybe aren't quite there with the micromanagement, maybe just start with something like your clothing.
Yep.
If you're in a position where you're like, all right, I got a lot of weight to lose, then, it's like, cool, trying to drop down in your dress sizes or your pants for the lads or whatever. Definitely a good thing to do as a first base.
Yep.
However, at some point there needs to be a little bit more micromanagement, a little bit more finer detail, I think.
Agreed.
Being able to assess regularly your plan to ensure that it's working or it's not. And this isn't just like sometimes it's not the plan, it's the implementation of it. Mm-hmm. So yes, it can be an alteration in the program, the volume, your calories, your cardio, all of that stuff, right? We're going to put our hands up for that. We're always going to ask first, though, how's the compliance? How is the your adherence to everything first? And like, is there anything there that we need to look at? And then we can make some changes. Yep. Now, if you're doing this on your own, you've got to have that honest conversation with yourself. Like, what am I doing well? What am I doing that's, needs improvement? If there's stuff on that improvement path, fix that first, then make an adjustment. Change your cardio, change your calories, like do whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, repeat the process.
Yeah.
Stack your wins, stack your proof, have some form of reflective process that pats you on the back as well as reflecting and reviewing on like the effectiveness of it. Don't like the idea of like my guys thinking that check-in day is just me trying to find problems.
Agreed.
And I always say that to them, that's not what it's about.
Yep.
So I'm like, even when you've had a bad week, like the expectation is to actually put the check-in because like I'm here to support you.
Yep.
And I also want you to just learn to show up no matter what. Mm-hmm. Face the problems that are coming, because the sooner we face them, the sooner we fix them.
Yeah, and it's curiosity of why.
Yeah. So then that's it. Yeah, we've already talked about the reasons, or like what if you don't set the goal? What if you don't achieve them? Like thinking about those things. So I reckon we've nailed it.
Yeah, I'm motivated. I want to go train.
I like it. So I'm summarizing here. The 3 biggest reasons people fail: no goals, no plan, no accountability. Mm-hmm. So think about that for the ones out there that don't like to set them. Yep. You got to set smart goals, take action, and track your progress. That's your roadmap to getting shredded, feeling strong.
Yeah. The only other layer I'm adding to that is if you don't have the belief, borrow it.
Yeah.
Find someone that believes in you more than you do.
Yeah, or find someone who's good at. This is a shameless plug. We're good at this.
Yeah.
So it's like go and commit to something that someone's really good at, and do it for that 30 days that we promise you that you'll get those outcomes, and all of this stuff changes for you.
Yeah.
The self-belief is there. You get the confidence. You have the plan. You're crushing it. You're happy. You're feeling fulfilled. You have momentum. I'm just like, I can't stress how important that is.
Yeah.
You know, and if you've got your eye on somebody else and they're good at it, I don't care. Do that. Just find someone who's really good at what you want. Go the fuck after it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but shameless plug. We're open for taking on consults for our Strong and Lean in 16 program. Our coaches will get on a strategy call with you. We'll identify your goal. We'll get specific with it. We'll plan out a roadmap. We'll show exactly what you get and how it's going to work for you for a personalized approach. This isn't a drag and drop cookie cutter thing that everybody gets the same stuff. We make these things fit for you and the goals that you have, which are very, very different. But the goal is less body fat, improvement in your body shape, a strong looking body, and fitting in the clothes that you always wanted to fit into. So you can submit your application on the website. Go to Strong and Lean in 16 on www.stcfit.com, and we'll get on a call, make sure we're a good fit, assign you to a coach, and we go from there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Hit the subscribe, hit the follow button, give us some feedback. We're getting some guests in over the coming weeks and months. Let us know who you want to hear from. We'll reach out to them. I hope you guys are having a really, really good week.